All right, we got the latest advisory in for Hurricane Ian. Still a hurricane here as it pushes its way now into central Florida after already just obliterating parts of southwest Florida with unheard of storm surge that we haven't ever seen in recent memory, and way worse than past hurricanes, just given the size of Ian and where it pushed ashore. Everybody south of that was dealing with just unbelievable storm surge. I still can't get over the video out of Naples, Bonita Beach, Sanibel, and Fort Myers. Still flooding right now in many of those spots, by the way. We're in Lakewood Ranch outside of Sarasota and Bradenton, here on the border of Manatee and Sarasota counties, where we're still dealing with gusty winds. Jackie, I can paint up to the palm trees, and we'll still get gusts anywhere 50, 60 miles per hour, but it's not persistent. It kind of comes, lasts for 30 seconds or so, and then dies back down. And we'll continue with that as we go through the night, and we're getting word of a flash flood emergency just to our south.
Yes, you're under a flash flood warning there in Sarasota, but south of you, we've got a flash flood emergency now that has been issued. So this is a higher level. That means that flooding is widespread, it's happening, and it is life-threatening right now. So Venice, Port Charlotte, Arcadia, Wauchula, all under this flash flood emergency, and that also includes North Point, South Venice. The threat, notice the tag there that it's catastrophic, and this is until 10:45. We have seen so much rainfall just in the last 24 hours. In fact, radar is estimating we've had about 1.5 feet, and that is sandwiched right in between Venice and Port Charlotte. Other areas near Arcadia, more than 1 foot of rain being estimated. Over near Wauchula, we've got 9.6 inches estimated. So we're expecting heavy rain to come in on top of that. That's going to be lasting for hours, and that is the big issue going forward because the system is moving very slowly. I want to bring in our hurricane expert, Dr. Rick Knapp. And Dr. Knapp, you know, this is also overlapping the area where we have the extreme wind warnings, where people are beginning to shelter in place, treating it like a tornado warning, and it's tough for messaging right now because, you know, if you're getting water coming in on the lowest level, that's not where you need to be sheltering.
Yeah, so let's talk through the possible scenarios here. If you are in your home and water is rising in the flash flood emergency, because that's what can happen in a flash flood emergency, water can get into your structure, then you're going to want to go up. But Jackie, I don't want people to go outside if they're also in the extreme wind warning, but we also don't want them to go up into their attic unless maybe you have an axe and you would be able to get out if the water gets high enough in your home. So you don't want to die in flooding inside your structure, but you don't want to be out in tornado-like conditions.
Absolutely. It's a difficult decision to make, and so if you find yourself where the water is so high that it's a life-threatening situation, that's when you have to go up and go ahead and do that. But you've got to have a way to get out of that attic, because if that water keeps going up, then you're going to be trapped up there anyway.
So I guess one way we could kind of summarize this is, if you're in both the extreme wind warning and the flash flood emergency, you would start low, lowest level, most interior room. Then if water's coming in, you go up. Then you go up as high as you can inside the structure safely if you've got a way to axe your way out. And then I guess it's the last resort. You'd have to expose yourself to the elements if you're trapped inside due to flooding, but let's try to avoid that at all costs.
Hopefully we don't have to go into that situation, but you know, it's concerning that we're seeing rainfall totals 1.5 feet already. We still have a long ways to go, and I was thinking about what Fiona was doing when it was over Puerto Rico. Remember, it was moving at 8 miles per hour. That's what we've been doing here today, and that's why our totals could reach 2 feet, maybe even more in spots.
Yeah, we don't have the terrain to squeeze out the moisture, but we might have even a little slower motion. And we've got a structure that is arguably producing even more concentrated heavy rainfall, and this zone is, again, lowest dry level, most interior room, I think, is the best way to explain it. And you see on your left-hand screen there what the winds are doing. We've also got rain that's happening farther north and east. We've got the flash flood. You've got some flood warnings from Orlando, Kissimmee over to Titusville. So our Justin Michaels, who's over in Tampa, you're experiencing the northwestern part of the circulation, not the